As the military conflict and humanitarian crisis escalate in Eastern Europe, frustration is swelling at our southern border as people fleeing Ukraine seek refuge in America. Good evening. I'm Derek Stahl.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. This all on the 2-year anniversary of the re-implementation of Title 42, a policy preventing migrants from crossing American borders during times of emergency.
Activists protested the policy today, which they say is making it even more difficult for people seeking asylum to get into the U.S.
And ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo checked in with 2 local congressmen. She's joining us now live from the border with much more. Laura?
The anniversary of this policy's re-implementation was marked by protests for those calling for it to end. But as thousands wait on the other side of our border, there are still no answers for when that will happen. Francel Celestin is Haitian. He and his family arrived in Tijuana in December, like thousands from many different countries hoping to claim asylum, turned away because of Title 42. He says because of his political affiliation in Haiti, he was threatened, so his family fled.
And Title 42.
Like Francel, a number of pro-immigrant groups on both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border marked the 2-year anniversary of the re-implementation of Title 42, calling for it to end. The arrival of Ukrainians and Russians at the border brought the policy back into the spotlight. Implemented by the Trump administration at the start of the pandemic, it gives Customs and Border Protection the power to turn away asylum seekers without allowing them to make their case for asylum.
I think that we might get rid of Title 42 because of the Ukrainians, because they're arriving, and it's such a great injustice to keep these people from applying where they're the perfect example of why we have asylum laws.
According to the Trump administration, the order was put in place for public health reasons, and the Biden administration has kept it going. Congressman Juan Vargas and Darrell Issa agree it needs to be modified or ended, but for different reasons.
I mean, the reality is they use it as an excuse to keep people out. That's always the case. It has never been about public health.
I don't think you can enforce forever a title that's based on an emergency medical situation when the American people believe it's passed.
Congressman Issa thinks migrants should wait their turn in their home country, and the more urgent claims should get priority.
We need to be able to have a system that takes the vast majority that are going to be turned down and puts them in line and looks at legitimate, documentable refugees and puts them at the head of the line.
But for Francel, he says he wants to know why some are being let in and others are not, saying he too is fleeing a different type of war and wants a chance to prove his case. And there is still no word from the Biden administration as to when Title 42 will end. But today, Biden's press secretary did say that it will be reconsidered in April. And that conversation will include medical experts from the CDC and also within the administration. Reporting live in San Ysidro, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.